It's very cold for a Texas day. It's frozen inside. Ice. Well, since the fish aren't biting, figured I'd do another video. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Venture Tube. This is going to be a short episode because it is very cold outside. It's about 29 degrees and I don't want to be out here too long. So it's going to be part 2 of my first trolling motor video, so if you haven't seen that, check that out. Basically what I've done, I cut that trolling motor shaft in half. All I did was take a hacksaw and cut the pipe and put the head of the trolling motor back on. Very simple, nothing to that. Anybody can do that. And I also painted the head of the unit black just to be less visible. I didn't like the white. It's actually a lot better now, and let me tell you why. I noticed when I went to the trolling motor setup on my Hobie kayak that when trolling, I wasn't catching as much fish, and I couldn't figure out why. And I believe the reason was because the trolling motor was so tall, and the way I had the actual motor up against the bottom of the hull as high as possible, it made it vibrate a lot, which was, you know, the kayaks themselves are already loud if you drop something on the plastic, and then when you have this trolling motor that's vibrating and, you know, rattling that plastic the whole time, that's actually pretty loud under the water. Cutting this shaft in half actually allowed the motor, when mounted inside the hull, to be much more quiet. Now it just kind of happened by accident. I just wanted the motor to be more low profile and less visible, and it's a lot easier to store actually. I don't have to take the front bin out of the kayak to put this in the front. I can actually leave that bin in there and it fits nicely right inside. But the difference that it made in the quietness when it's running is great. Now that I've cut this in half, now I'm back to catching my hybrids and bass and catfish trolling again. Whereas before I just couldn't figure out why I wasn't, and I believe that was the vibration. I believe that's what was causing me not to catch as many fish as the pedals. So real simple, all I did, like I said, cut the shaft in half, painted it black, and I believe, as you can tell, that's going to even it up more. You got your mount here, this is right at the bottom of the kayak, and you don't have much length sticking up above your mounting point, which is going to cause less vibration. And I was thinking of maybe even adding foam inside the head of the unit to make it just even that much more quiet. And it seems to really be helping. I know a lot of you guys use planer boards. I'm not really a planer board person. I just run my rods off each side of the boat, and that spaces them about maybe 12 feet in between my baits when I'm trolling. As long as I'm quiet, that's plenty enough space. So if you are making this setup, I would advise you to go ahead and cut it down. When you mount this unit in the kayak, the side boards, the mounting boards, are almost directly level with the head of this motor. I can't tell you exactly how much I cut out of the shaft, but I mean, you'll be able to figure it out if you do this setup. It's real simple. Also, I've had some of you asking questions about what kind of battery I'm using to run the trolling motor. Let me show you that. Okay guys, there it is. Stowaway Marine Deep Cycle Portable Trolling Power. Designed for small boats, canoes, john boats, and Hobie kayaks. Doesn't say that, but it works. It's 23 amp hours, 40 minute reserve capacity, and you can get this at Academy. If you watched my previous video, I believe it cost around in the $40 range, $45, something like that, and it weighs approximately 26 pounds. As you can see, as far as connecting the power to my Hummingbird and my navigation lights and my stern light, that's just an automotive plug that I have wired in, and on the female side there's a rubber grommet that makes this completely waterproof. This is what I use to get power to all my electronics, but it works really good. I still haven't tested it as to see exactly how long I can go on a single charge, but so far it's been more than enough. Alright guys, well again, that's my setup. It may change again, it may not. So far it's working really well, can't complain about it. It's really cheap. I would suggest you cutting the shaft in half and that really cuts down on the vibration, and I really do think that makes a difference for your fishing. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm new to this, so if you have better ideas, I'm eager to see what you've done to your setup. Stay tuned for some of my next videos. I've made a couple other things that I think are interesting and may help you out too. I'm Cole. I'm leaving. All right, let me start over.